Hi there guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and want to see more. Coming up, it's the Jack Bauer round, NRL round 24. So a Mitchell Pearce drop goal with 17 seconds to play secured the Knights their place in the finals with a 15 points to 14 win over the Titans at Sunshine Coast Stadium on Thursday night. With Kalen Ponga and also Mitchell Pearce at their inspirational best, the Knights climbed to 26 competition points to ensure they finished 7th for the second consecutive season. Ponga finished the night with 22 runs for 179 metres, 9 tackle breaks and a try assist, while Pearce produced a crucial 40-20 in the second half and an ice cool one-pointer for the win. In the early goings though, it was the 9th place Titans who had the ascendancy, with Philip Sammy crossing after just 5 minutes, courtesy of a Bo Fermor line break. 7 minutes later, Jamil Fogarty landed a penalty to make it 6-0, and the Titans looked good, but that's when Ponga stamped his class on the game. The Knights fullback shifted from the right hand side to the left and charged onto a pass from the dummy half Caden Brayley before splitting 2 defenders to score. Having drawn level with the Knights, the Knights then shot themselves in the foot with a mistake by Josh King and Heimel Hunt, gifting the Titans the chance to wrestle back into the lead even. After being held back for the first 32 minutes, David Fifita had an immediate impact when Justin Holbrook put him on, leaving 3 defenders in his wake to cross for his 15th try in the season. That's excellent from the back row forward. The Titans held on to their lead until the 61st minute, when Ponga took the ball at speed 10 metres out and delivered a perfect pass for Mitchell Pearce to score. And with the game in the balance at 12-12, it was the Knights who edged ahead by 2 points in the 71st minute when Jake Clifford converted a penalty goal after Pearce was tackled late by Jared Wallace. 4 minutes later, Titans were level again with Jaden Campbell was taken in a high tackle, landing a penalty shot goal. But then it came to the forward drop goals were coming, and a missed drop goal shot by Titans centre Patrick Herbert with 2 minutes to play handed the Knights a 7 tackle set, and after Clifford had his field goal charge down, it was down to Pearce, who stepped up to win with ice in his veins. After a 6 years finals drought between 2014 and 2019, which also delivered 3 wooden spoons to the proud club, the Knights have now finished in the top 8 in consecutive seasons and will look to fine-tune their game against Broncos in round 25. The Titans, meanwhile, face a nervous wait for other results this weekend ahead of a huge clash with the Warriors on the last day of the regular season. Ricky Stewart thought Canberra were preoccupied with the result as they fell behind 16 points to 0 to the Warriors before an epic comeback put them in a strong position to finish 8th. Keeping the New Zealand club scoreless for the final 55 minutes, the Raiders clinched their victory. Brilliant victory, 28 points to 16 at Mackay's B&B Prince Stadium, with Jordan Rapana and Hudson Young both scoring at the death. The Warriors struggled for direction when veteran halfback Chad Townsend, whose kicking game was on song, succumbed to a season-ending shoulder injury in the 48th minute. Warriors fullback Reece Walsh skewed an under-pressure field goal attempt before Canberra prioritised 4 points over 1. Rapana, who had missed a long-range penalty goal in the 73rd minute, was the man to seal the match as he crossed on the left for a try. The results, which marks Stewart's 100th win as Raiders coach, has lifted the Green Machine into 8th place, leading into the final round clash with the injury-hit Roosters on Thursday night. However, the 9th place Sharks, 20 points, faced the Broncos on Saturday night with a superior differential, while the Titans, 20 points, could strike if the two above them stumble next weekend. Despite conceding a try on the first set, with Warriors hooker Wade Egan splitting markers Josh Hodgson and Ryan Sutton before linking up with Sean O'Sullivan, Stewart was pleased with the team's defence. Rapana recorded 289 metres, 2 line breaks and 12 tackle breaks, as well as kicking 4 goals in a Herculean performance. The off-contract 32-year-old started at fullback but shifted to the wing when Shazni Nicol-Gladstad was introduced at the 26-minute mark, following a groin injury to Bailey Simonson. Stewart also praised the influence of 5'8" Jack Whiten, who ignited the left edge attack that produced Canberra's 3 tries. After claiming the opening try, O'Sullivan set up the next with a neat kick that was spilled by Simonson, allowing Rocco Berry to swoop. Dylan Watani-Selesniak then extended the lead as a Townsend bomb was dropped by the Raiders centre Sebastian Kris. Crucially, Nicol-Gladstad, in his second match from neck surgery, showed no hesitation to put his body on the line just before half-time as he bumped off O'Sullivan and carried Peter Hiku over the stripe. It was a much-needed jump start, and Canberra maintained their intensity to begin the second term, with Kris adding his name to the score sheet after a slick shift in the 44th minute. The grind resumed, but the Raiders eventually broke through to level the game after 65 minutes when Whiten sent Rapana down the touchline and the winger linked with Kris on his inside. Rookie halfback Braden Trindle staked another claim to the Cronulla's long-term number 7 by steering the Sharks to a gritty 24 points to 16 defeat of Brisbane at Suncorp Stadium that keeps the club's finals hopes alive. Trindle, who was just starting his 9th match in the halves this season after the departure of Chad Townsend and the loss of Sean Johnson with the season-ending hamstring injury, scored a try and laid on another as Cronulla regained 8th spot from Canberra for and against. Sharks, who are on 22 points and boast a minus 24 differential, play Melbourne next Friday and will know before kickoff whether they need to win to make the playoffs or just limit the scoreboard damage as the Raiders face Sydney Roosters on Thursday night. Canberra Raiders are also on 22 points with a minus 73 differential. If both Cronulla and Canberra lose, the Titans could join them on 22 points by beating Warriors next Sunday and would be in the finals contention as they have a minus 47 differential. Cronulla hopes of a final place were helped by indiscipline of the Brisbane forwards Tom Fletcher and rookie Brendan Peikoara, who both spent stints in the sin bin. Fletcher's departure halfway through the first half for a high tackle was a turning point in the match, while Peikoara played just 11 minutes of his NRL debut after being sin-binned in the second half for a late shot on Trindle. Hooker Jake Turpin and forward TC Rabati were also placed on report along with Cronulla's centre Jesse Ramain. The Sharks opened the scoring before Brisbane had a tackle in possession, with winger Sione Katoa crossing in just the 4th minute after Corey Oates spilled a Luke Metcalf bomb and Brisbane conceded a 6 again. However, the Broncos hit back in the first set of tackles that they had after hooker Jake Turpin split the defence from dummy half, and Xavier Coates snatched an Albert Kelly bomb from a Mawene Hirati to score in the 9th minute. Apologies for all these names miscalculations. Brisbane fullback Tessie Neo then put the Holden side ahead 10 points to 4 when he stepped inside Braden Trindle and received a cutout pass from Anthony Milford for the 21st minute try. The momentum being built by Broncos was undone by Fletcher, who was sin-binned in the 25th minute for a high shot on Jack Williams. Hopefully I got that one right. And Sharks scored 2 tries while their opponents were down to 12 men. Jesse Romain scored in the 26th minute, and Connor Tracy crossed 8 minutes later after Couture raced down the right side of the touchline and ran 50 metres across the field to put the Cronulla left centre over on the opposite side of the field. Penalty against Fledgler almost immediately after his return from the sin bin or stripping the ball from Williams enabled Trindle to put Sharks 18 points to 10 up at half time with a 40th minute penalty goal. Cronulla again dominated the early exchanges in the second half and rewarded with a 46-minute Trindle try after a run-around move with second rower Britton Nikora. But Canberra had the last say of the game after Tessa Niu scored his second try of the game to round off the scoring and to finish off the game at 24 points to 16. Todd Payton declared that better times ahead for the Cowboys after halfback Tom Dearden started to snap a 10-game losing streak against the Dragons. The coach was delighted with the efforts of young forwards Jeremiah Nane and Halem Lukey as they helped North Queensland overcome a 20 points to 10 deficit to win 38 points to 12. Payton also confirmed he is looking at Valentine Holmes as a long-term centre after 10-time Maroon representative performed solidly in that position at Rockhampton's Brown Park. St George Illawarra's rookie spine of Jaden Sullivan and Talatau Amone and Cyril Sloan dominated the opening half, but 4 tries in 8 minutes after the break got the Cowboys their first win since May. Mark Dearden's maiden victory for the club after the 20-year-old couldn't have done much more, producing a try and 2 line breaks, a try assist and 129 metres for 17 tackles. A crop of exciting forwards for North Queensland is something to work with as they look towards the 2022 season, according to Payton. There are better times ahead, he keeps saying, and Griffin Neame was also another player from the Queensland Cup system and who had a game which hadn't had a game but played really well for the first time in 9 weeks. Jason Tamalolo wore the number 8 shirt, but Payton said it was to do with the team's jersey sizing rather than a change in the role. In any case, Tamalolo was at his best with a match-high 209 metres. St George Illawarra's losing run has now extended to 7 matches and their final chances are officially dashed. But hooker Sullivan, 5'8" Amone and fullback Sloan, who played together as juniors at Illawarra's 2019 SG Ball Premiership win, provided cause for some optimism about where the club is heading. The trio set up a sensational try for Zach Lomax before Sullivan, who is usually a half-back, pinched a 4-pointer from dummy half. And on the stroke of half-time, Amoni placed a lovely inside kick to the instinctive Sloan to rush through and touch down. North Queensland's blitz began when winger Ben Hampton swooped on a loose ball and ran 95 metres to score in the 45th minute. And it's all went for Cowboys all the way through the game. They were excellent in that when they started getting some patterns together, and like I said, Jason Taumalolo leading from the front. Latrell Mitchell's season could be over as the Rabbitohs fullback is charged with a Grade 2 reckless tackle for an incident that left former teammate Joey Manu with a suspected broken cheekbone. Souths recorded an incredible 54-12 win against their bitter rivals, but in the 57th minute, an incident overshadowed the game, involving the pair in this one-sided contest. That's seen Mitchell Simbin for his shoulder connecting with Manu's face. Mitchell was on the receiving end of a barrage from Manu, who was clearly emotional after the shoulder charge caused a possible fractured cheekbone to Joey Manu. And he was taken straight to hospital as he left the field with what Trent Robinson says, a depressed cheekbone fracture. Robinson was left fuming at Henry Paranara's decision making in the bunker process throughout the incident with Manu, instigating a clash with Mitchell a minute after the collision to flag his injury on Saturday morning. Mitchell was charged by match review committee with the Grade 2 reckless high tackle, and he faces a suspension between 6 and 9 matches. Mitchell has also served a 4-match ban earlier this season as for dangerous contact on West Tigers winger David Nafalumo earlier this year. If charged, any guilt finding from the Manu incident will affect the fullback's chances to feature for the Rabbitohs in the coming weeks. The match review committee will announce any charges coming out of the match on Saturday, as they have done. Robinson lashed out at the decision not to send Mitchell off for the rest of the game, calling the bunker an absolute farce over the Manu incident. He was equally frustrated with Mitchell's effort despite acknowledging his ongoing fondness for the former Roosters Premiership winner. Rabbitohs coach Wayne Bennett returned serve to Robinson in his post-match conferences, but opted to steer clear of the Mitchell incident. Mitchell returned to the field with 12 minutes remaining to ice South Sydney's third straight win over the Roosters with a try that included him throwing the ball towards players of his former club. All that Bennett said about it's all emotional, the moment gets to them. The Bunnies forward pack ran through the depleted Roosters outfit in the first half to set up a 24-6 lead before the side repelled a mini fight back from the Tricolours. A 4-minute double from 2 veteran prop Mark Nichols, the first in his 9-year career, signalled the Rabbitohs' dominance in the ruck early on, while Alex Johnson finished off with a hat-trick for the night. Reynolds' night appeared to be over in the first half after he limped off the field with a knee injury, but the Bunnies' playmaker returned late when South Sydney appeared to have lost their way in the second half. Robinson's woes continue immediately after break with experienced forward Siasua Tawakaoa leaving the field with a knee injury after being twisted awkwardly in the tackle by Liam Knight. Knight was placed on report for the incident, but the Roosters prop managed to return later in the second half with a heavily strapped knee in another incident that drew the ire of Robinson. Ben Thomas got a head knock, also failed to return for the Tricolours, while Isaac Leu had a high contact and Fletcher Baker crusher tackle were both placed on report. The Roosters led narrowly, 24 points to 12 in the 48th minute, with Sam Verrills crossing before Rabbitohs ran in 5 tries in the final quarter of the match to compound Manu's injury. On the performance, Trent Robinson said, "I'm really proud of them. We came out after half-time and we got to 24-12. We got stripped way too easily on the edge, and that's a tactical thing." So in the live match on Sky Sports in the UK, it's Melbourne Storm versus Parramatta Eels at the Suncorp Stadium. And the underdogs Eels take the lead as Mitchell Moses' cut-out pass reaches, while inside the Melbourne's 20, finds Blake Ferguson on the right edge, and the veteran player playing his first game since round 20 bursts onto the pass for the score. He puts a little bit of a shift in so he could dive over untouched. Moses was able to convert this try. Storm hit back as they worked the ball through the hands and finds Fijian winger Isaac Lume, who is in the open space but is quickly getting closed down by the Eels defenders. So is getting contact in the tackle, he throws the ball back inside for Remy Smith to pick up to score close to the posts. That try is converted for a 6-6 score differential. Storm are in again for a 10-6 lead as Lume gets his try this time. After working the ball right again through the hands, Smith delays the pass out to Lume to draw in the Eels winger to create a gap for his Fijian winger to score in the corner. He slides in from about 4 meters out, so it must have been a well-watered pitch, shall we say that, for a 10-6 lead. And it's 10-all at half-time as the Eels captain Clint Gufferson finds Hayes Dunster with a lovely cut-out pass for the winger to score in the corner on the 39th minute. That's how we're looking at half-time. So the second half comes with some interesting intrigue, because before the game it was announced that Henry Paranara was removed from the bunker due to the incident involving Mitchell Moses and Joey Manu. And the bunker was only needed once during the entire game, but it wasn't for, well, it was for this Storm, as they had one try chalked off during the second half. But here's the story of the scoring for the second half. An offside in the opening 6 minutes by Storm's Kafusi and gave Eels halfback Mitchell Moses the chance to add an extra 2, which he duly obliged to do through the penalty. The Storm, though, a couple of minutes later, had Josh Addo-Carr going off the pitch as there were concerns that he has a hamstring injury as he limped off. The Eels, though, were buoyed by these incidents as they were in on the 52nd minute for a try, the opening try of the half, as Blake Ferguson picked up his second try of the game with a trademark dive to the corner. Gutherson mirrored the Smith delayed pass in the first half by Storm to his winger, who had enough space to dive in for his 4-pointer, giving Eels a 16 points to 10 lead. And 12 minutes later, Parramatta extended that lead to 12, and it's Joey Lusick. He jumps out from dummy half at the 40-metre line of the Eels half, where he passes to Brown, and it finds its way to Dunster, who breaks down the left wing, and in support is Joey Lusick, who scores left of the posts for a 20 points to 10 lead, which Gutherson extends to 22 points to 10 lead. Moses, though, as it's coming to the end of the game, attempts a drop goal to put it out of doubt, and the ball swings right, unfortunately, and misses this time. And looking at the Melbourne Storm team, they were thankful for the miss. It looked like a spent force in this game. Looked like they were beaten. And that's how it stayed. And the game finished 22 points to 10 to the Eels. And that means the Storm's winning run of 19 games ends at 19 by a rejuvenated and back in the Premiership contention spots Eels side. So just some bit of paperwork after that. So of note, Smith was put on report for the Storm with a high shot in the first half. Eels Brown was also put on report for a high shot, and Hipgrove was also for the Eels was also both of the Eels reports were done in the second half, and that showed the dominance of the Eels defence as well as their attack compared to Storm in today's game. So the Bulldogs gave the finals-bound Seagulls an almighty scaring of their 36 points to 18 loss on Sunday, with a controversial try awarded to Tom Trbojevic, providing crucial respite for the Seagulls. Trebojevic's second half hat-trick blew the game played in Redcliffe open after his side trailed at half-time, but it was his first try that upset Canterbury players and coaches alike. The Bulldogs fought hard to earn a 12-10 half-time lead, but endured a horror opening to the second half, conceding 4 straight sets and turning away 25 consecutive tackles in their own red zone, including a possible obstruction play that could have been a Bulldogs penalty. The run of Manly possession culminated with Trebojevic's first try of the afternoon, despite a magnificent try-saving attempt from Jack Hetherington, with the Seagulls fullback ruled to have got the ball to the ground despite appearing to lose the ball in possession during the process of scoring a try. The decision incensed Bulldogs coach Trent Barrett. A penalty goal soon after, given after Joe Stimson was ruled to have pulled the hair of Martin Taupo, made it a 6-point gap and left Stimson on report. Trbojevic then all but ended the chances of an upset when he ran onto a clever Josh Schuster pass to score in the 66th minute before bagging his hat-trick in the 73rd. Impressive rookie Jackson Topany stole a try back from the next kickoff, which Manly allowed to bounce before a Daly Jerry Evans intercept right on full time gave Jason Saab a try that blew the final score to 36 points to 18. The result moves Manly back ahead of the Eels and Roosters and means that they only need to beat Queensland in round 25 to guarantee a top 4 spot, which Manly coach Des Hasler admitted was crucial. Things had seemed to be going to the script when Saab crossed with just 8 minutes gone on the clock with a regulation overlap. Whether it was complacency, an eye on what's to come, or just one of those days, the Seagulls then bombed a number of attacking chances, including what would have been a gift second try for Saab, which the winger dropped over the line in the 24th minute. An error from the winger just one set later handed the Dogs an attacking scrum, with Dory crossing from a set play, receiving an inside ball to break through the middle of the Manly defence to put his side up 6 points to 4. The next set, a clean break from Brandon Wakeham set the Dogs back on the attack, with Jaden Okumbo scooping up a wayward pass to step his way to the line to make it 12 points to 4. Daly Cherry Evans set up his side second, stepping into space, sending Wamole Olakotoa over as Manly went into the sheds, down by 2. In the next set, after Trebojevic's first try, Josh Aolai was penalised and sin-binned for possession while in possession for lashing out with a boot in the tackle, but Dogs were unable to capitalise on the one-man advantage before Manly pulled it away when it went back to 13 points to 13. In a huge injury blow for Trent Barrett's side, emerging back rower Matt Dory was taken off with a suspected ACL injury. If confirmed, he could miss the early parts of 2022 as well as the rest of the season. Hetherington was also placed on report for a high tackle. So in the final game of the round, it was a doubleheader at the Moreton Daily Stadium as Tavita Pangai Jr. phoned Michael Maguire to reject West Tigers' advances last month. There was no such pleasantries as the Panthers recruit bashed his new side into a surprise shot at the minor premiership. Pangai's second outing in Penrith colours yielded the Panthers 3 tries during his bruising initial 24-minute stint. The ex-Bronco instrumental in transforming a 6-6 deadlock into a comfortable 30 points to 16 win for Penrith. Penrith's win wasn't by the home straight that their pre-game odds initiated, coming after a surprise Storm loss on Saturday. It drew Penrith level with them on 42 points all the same. Given Melbourne still have 113 points for and against advantage, Penrith will require a Cronulla upset in the final round and a win over the Eels to pinch the JJ Giltinan Shield from the 2020 Grand Final rivals. Coach Ivan Cleary insisted afterwards that week 1 of the finals remains Penrith's overwhelming priority, especially when a second versus third week 1 finals clash would most likely come against the Rabbitohs without Latrell Mitchell, whereas finishing first will potentially pit the minor premiers up against Manly, the NRL's dark horses. In any case, with Brian Toto, Syndemosis and James Fisher-Harris, personal reasons, back on deck against the Tigers, Penrith were at full strength for the first time since early May. It was their most recent addition, Pangai, signed on the short-term deal after he plumped for Canterbury in 2022 over the Tigers a month ago, who made the biggest stint amid a slew of uncharacteristic Penrith fumbles. After rival front rowers Moses Leitoa and Stefano Otekamanu had traded rare tries in the opening proceedings, the Tigers maintained a rare seen defensive resolve throughout the first 30 minutes. Butoy Kamano especially caught the eye as he set Vilami Kikau for all people on his backside, and Pangai's injection from the bench answered the impact and then some. Recruited specifically for the X factor he can offer in a tight contest, Pangai had cracked 100 metres within 18 minutes of taking the field. No run did more damage than Pangai took on 3 defenders from close range, 2 of them dropping off the tackle as Jacob Liddell attempted a one-on-one strip. Pangai duly puts his foot down and promptly put Penrith on the front foot, and Ivan Cleary said that's why he was here. Pangai's new Bulldogs-bound teammate Matt Burton was on for all money to add another try before the break, only to be stopped short by the superb covering tackle by David Nofaluma. It stayed 12-6 until half-time, but not longer afterwards as Jerome Luai sold Luke Brooks a dummy and dotted down. From there, Penrith remained a class above, Nathan Cleary especially after a few nervy moments to start. A 6-minute grubber drilled into the upright led to Biota regathering for his opening try and offset a rare early fumble from the halfback. By day's end, Cleary had another 2 try assists and 5 goals from as many attempts, becoming the second youngest player behind Manly legend Graham Eadie to bring up 1,000 points in the process. Second half tries from Kikau and Tu'o helped the Panthers cruise to a comfortable lead, but a late salvo in reply from Jake Simpkins and Kem Malamalo doing little beyond adding some respectability to the scoreboard for the Tigers. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate all the views, all the comments, and I'm thankful for all you followers. I hope that it continues. I hope we're able to grow the game. But please share these videos worldwide and get the reports out to everyone that needs to listen to them. I know there was a shirt change in the middle of Saturday's games. I promised I'd take out my grandmother to get some. That's why I'm still dressed like this. Had a great day. Anyway, please share these videos, like, subscribe, comment. Do appreciate everyone who gets involved. Please stay safe. All the best. I'll see you in